Cheating has become one of the biggest debates in Roblox Rivals. Every single day, players upload clips claiming they found another hacker. Reddit is filled with accusations, Discord is full of arguments, and YouTube comments have turned into endless debates over who's actually cheating and who's just insanely skilled. But here's the weird part. The developers say they've already banned over 3 million cheaters. So why does the community still think the problem is getting worse? After digging through Reddit discussions, developer updates, official announcements, and community investigations, I found that this isn't just a story about hackers. It's a story about trust. Trust that when you lose a ranked match, it was because someone outplayed you, not because they were running cheats. And right now, that trust seems to be disappearing. If you search Roblox Rivals cheats online, you'll immediately notice something strange. Half the videos claim the game is completely overrun with hackers. The other half argue that almost nobody is cheating, and players are simply blaming hacks every time they lose. So, who's actually right? To answer that, I spent hours digging through community discussions, patch notes, developer statements, and anti-cheat updates. And the answer is a lot more complicated than I expected. The biggest reason this debate has exploded isn't because someone suddenly discovered cheats. It's because Rivals has become one of the biggest competitive games on Roblox. When a game reaches millions of players, something changes. People stop playing just for fun. They start grinding rank, learning movement, practicing aim, memorizing every corner on every map. The skill ceiling gets higher every month, and that's exactly where the problem begins. The better the average player becomes, the harder it is to tell the difference between someone who's incredibly talented and someone who's getting a little extra help. One Reddit post that received a lot of attention asked why nobody was talking about what the author believed was a growing cheating problem. The comments quickly split into two completely different camps. Some players claimed they encountered suspicious opponents almost every day. Others said they'd played hundreds of matches without ever seeing a confirmed cheater. Neither side could convince the other, because unlike a bug that everyone can reproduce, cheating isn't always obvious. Take wall hack, for example. Imagine you're trying to flank someone. You take a route that's rarely used. You don't fire your weapon. You don't make any obvious mistakes. But somehow, the enemy is already aiming exactly where you're about to appear. Did they hear you? Did they predict your movement? Or were they looking through the wall the entire time? Without seeing their screen, it's almost impossible to know. The same thing happens with aim assist. Most people imagine hackers instantly snapping from head to head across the map. And while those kinds of cheats definitely exist, they're actually the easiest ones to catch. The cheats people are worried about today are much more subtle. Instead of aiming for you, they simply make your aim a little better, a little smoother, a little more consistent. Enough to win extra fights, but not enough to make everyone instantly suspicious. The cheating community even has a name for this: closet cheating. The goal isn't to dominate every lobby. The goal is to look like an extremely good player, and that's what makes it so difficult, because even experienced players can struggle to tell the difference. Of course, Rivals isn't just sitting back and ignoring the issue. In one of the game's updates, the developers revealed that their anti-cheat systems had already resulted in more than 3 million bans. That's an incredible number. It shows that cheating is absolutely a real problem behind the scenes. But it also raises another question. If millions of cheaters have already been banned, why do players still feel like they're running into hackers? Part of the answer is actually pretty simple. Banning someone doesn't stop them from making another account. Roblox is free. Creating a new account only takes a few minutes. If someone is determined enough, they can come back again and again unless stronger detection methods stop them first. That creates an endless cycle. A cheat gets detected. Accounts get banned. Cheat developers update their software. The anti-cheat adapt. Then the process starts all over again. It's a battle that almost every competitive multiplayer game has been fighting for years. Games like Counter-Strike, Valorant, Rainbow Six Siege, Apex Legends, they've all spent enormous amounts of money trying to solve the exact same problem, and none of them have completely eliminated cheating. So expecting a Roblox game to completely solve it overnight probably isn't realistic. That said, the Rivals community has been asking for stronger anti-cheat measures for quite a while. One discussion that gained traction argued that many checks should happen on the server instead of trusting information sent by a player's computer. The reasoning is simple. If the server verifies more actions itself, it becomes much harder for modified game clients to fake information. Interestingly, Roblox itself has been moving in that direction. The company recently introduced what's known as Server Authority, a technology designed to let game servers handle more of the important gameplay logic instead of relying on the player's device. The goal is exactly what you'd expect. Make cheating significantly harder. For competitive games like Rivals, that's a huge development. If more systems become server authoritative over time, entire categories of exploits could become much less effective. Of course, implementing those systems isn't as easy as flipping a switch. Developers have to balance security with performance. Too many server checks can introduce lag. Too few leave room for exploit. Finding that balance is one of the hardest parts of developing a competitive shooter. Real quick, I'm trying to become the most followed person on Roblox, so if you want to help out, my profile's linked in the description and on my YouTube page. Anyway, one thing I found especially interesting while researching this topic is how social media has changed the way players think about cheating. 20 years ago, if someone cheated against you, only the people in that match knew about it. Today, one suspicious clip can reach millions of people overnight. Someone uploads a 15-second TikTok showing an impossible flick. A YouTube short claims another hacker has been exposed. A Reddit thread gets hundreds of comments. Before long, it starts to feel like cheating is everywhere. But here's the thing, people almost never upload normal matches. Nobody posts a clip titled, "Just played 5 5 completely fair games today. Social media naturally highlights the most extreme examples. That doesn't mean the problem isn't real. It absolutely is, but it can also make the situation feel much worse than it actually is. There's another side to this conversation that doesn't get talked about enough. False accusations. Some of the best Rivals players have thousands of hours in the game. They've mastered movement tech, crosshair placement, map awareness, and positioning. To an average player, their gameplay can genuinely look impossible. There are countless examples across competitive games where professional players have been accused of cheating simply because they were too good. That's why evidence matters. A lucky flick isn't proof. Neither is someone having amazing aim for one round. Even perfect prediction isn't automatically wall hacks. The problem is that once someone is accused, the internet often assumes they're guilty first and asks questions later. That can be just as damaging as cheating itself. So where does Rivals go from here? The developers have shown they're willing to keep improving their anti-cheat. Roblox is investing in more cheat-resistant technology, and the community clearly cares enough to keep reporting suspicious players. But at the end of the day, no anti-cheat is perfect. There will probably always be someone trying to find the next exploit. The real goal isn't eliminating every cheater, it's making cheating so difficult and getting caught so likely that most people don't think it's worth trying. Whether Rivals has a bigger cheating problem than other Roblox shooters is still up for debate. What isn't up for debate is that the conversation has become one of the biggest topics in the community, and until players fully trust that every match is fair, it's probably going to stay that way. So what do you think? Has cheating actually become a serious problem in Roblox Rivals, or has the community become too quick to call every skilled player a hacker? Let me know what your experience has been, because after looking through everything I could find, it's clear that this debate is far from over.